Hello and welcome to the Ministry of Miniatures, and today we've got a very special battle report. We are heading back to the American War of Independence and we are going to be doing the Battle of Freeman's Farm, and there it is in the middle with Mr. and Mrs. Freeman. This is prior to the Battle of Saratoga, but we're going to quickly talk about the battle and then I'll go over the scenery on the table. Okay, so over to George for today's scenario.
Right, well, the Battle of Freeman's Farm, or First Saratoga. The situation was that the American Army under Horatio Gates, 8,000 men, were in well-fortified positions on the Bemis Heights, a commanding position along the Hudson River in upstate New York. A British army under General Burgoyne now seeks to pry the rebels loose. On September the 19th, he launches a three-pronged attack to capture undefended high ground on the American left that could threaten Bemis Heights, or Bemis Heights, forgive me. But Benedict Arnold, chafing under the cautious thumb of Gates, pleads for permission to launch a small spoiling attack. Gates reluctantly agrees, and that is the battle we will be fighting.
Very good.
Scenario. The British will be coming on from your side.
So this way?
Yep. And the objective is to control all three road exits off the table.
Oh, okay.
Or control Freeman's Farm and Coulter's small holding farm, as well as doing more damage to the Americans than you have suffered yourself.
Okay, it's quite a tall order, but probably doable.
It was done.
Yeah.
The British did win a tactical victory in the real battle, but it delayed them quite substantially and also took quite a few lives, so the army was reduced when it got to the Battle of Saratoga, where the British ended up losing and surrendering. So it's a significant little battle.
Yes, and it should be a fun scenario to play.
We shall see.
Very good. So let's have a look at the table. Okay, so let's talk through the table. There's loads and loads of woods on here, which is really good because it makes it really thematic. But George is going to quickly talk us through what we've got. Okay,
well, we'll start with the woodland. All the woods are dense woods, which means they're difficult to move through. Units have to be in skirmish order and move at half rate through any of the woodland, including the North Mill Creek woodland here that leads to what I have named Miller's Mill, was just on the maps as Mill. So I thought it was a miller there somewhere. So all the streams on here are actually quite small, but they're steep banked. So artillery cannot cross them at all, and infantry can cross them at a penalty of 3 inches. Fences and walls are all giving a +1 to defence. They are crossed at a penalty of 3 inches again, as in the black powder rules, and they afford a +1 on morale saves. The hills are insignificant really. I don't think anybody be going up into the hills. If you do, obviously there's a penalty going up them. If you're inside a built-up area, I use the term lightly because it's loosely, because it's not particularly built up, you will gain a +1 as if it was fenced, these two areas here, because there are some buildings but not enough to warrant being called troops in buildings really. You wouldn't be able to put a whole unit in a building. That's about it, I think.
Yeah, and then just finally, as you can see here, we've got one of the Geek Villain mats, which is really good because it allows us to put hills underneath the mat, so actually it all blends in really nicely.
It's very flexible, and it's the best mat I've used because it's a little bit oversized, which is great, and as you can see, the hills actually look really good.
Yeah. Right, well done. So there we go. That's the battlefield and the scenario for today. Okay, so British deployment first, and Hamilton, who is my brigadier, for this brigade, has come on. Everyone's in line. We're marching to the sounds of the pipes and the drums, and we're still moving forward in column because actually I want to get up and try and achieve these objectives over here. And going through the woods is going to, with my artillery, I'm not going to be able to make it. So I want to do a sweeping advance around here. But that is the first British deployment. So there we go. The start of the American deployment. They've pulled off away from Freeman's Farm. There's two small regiments that have just moved forward. And as you can see, they're led by Bear. He's a level 8 for today, and they have, fortunately, there's Woods defender protecting us, but they've come up on the flank of the British. So let's see what happens next. Okay, so the first move for the British, and Hamilton rolled a 9. He's a level 8, so he's failed his brigade order. I was planning to march up around there. They've obviously heard some movement in the trees, and they're just stopping with the Canadians here who are on their flank. I've just heard something, and the whole column's just come to a halt. So there we go. Although they've halted, I am in columns, so I get one free move, which I am going to take because I want to push forward as much as possible. What I've done, I've just pushed forward. We've heard something coming through the trees, but we want to get round and take the advantage and take the field. Okay.
Okay, Paw's brigade have arrived. They got a good move, so they're coming on and they're taking up position in Coulter's holding. Going to line the fence at least to start with. Might have to spread themselves out because the British are coming. The British are coming!
The British are coming!
Bear's advance guard froze. They're not entirely sure whether they should try and move through the woods and take the British in the flank because they know they're there, but there's an awful lot of them, all them fifes and drums, or whether they should fall back and defend the Freemans Farm area. So they're in a bit of a dither at the moment. And that ends the...
Right, back to the British. Okay, there we go. So Hamilton, level 8, has managed to do a brigade order up to the crossroads, which I managed to achieve. And my Canadian skirmishers have gone in and taken Miller's Mill. So we're making good progress. The 2nd British Brigade, unfortunately, didn't roll high enough to come on. So they're just waiting off in the flanks to come on the field and assist.
Right, a mixed outing for Paul's brigade. Managed to get the 2 front Continental regiments into line along the fence line here to give them a bit of protection, a bit of cover, and feel a bit more secure. The artillery, the light battery of guns didn't get to deploy, only managed to move it up into the position where it can deploy. And then I managed to turn the 2 regiments following down the road into line facing towards Freeman's Farm. In the centre, the Dearborn Light Infantry, the Dearborn Lights, who were facing have decided to, on initiative, because they were within range of the enemy, they sensed them there, they've decided to sort of refuse the flank slightly and face the potential threat. Unfortunately, the elite Morgan's Rifles failed to move. Bear needs to shape up a bit.
Yeah, you tell him, Bear. Right, back to the British.
Right, you need to roll a dice.
Okay, so this is the British move. I did a brigade order to move up. Well, actually, I got one free move because they were in column. But essentially what I've done is I've got 1 regiment that have just turned in the march on the column onto the road to face us off against those militia. It does leave them a little vulnerable from this side. I've got 1 to snap into line. The other 2 regiments are pulled up and the cannons just advanced there. But the militia just are holding ground in Miller's Mill. So there we go. That's the British move. Let's see what happens next.
Right, okay. The American move. Didn't get a lot done. The artillery has managed to unlimber and will be able to fire. I was trying to move these 2 regiments, swing them around to sort of get a bit of a line going, but unfortunately they're very hard to order and have been a bit stubborn. And in the centre I managed to swing the Dearborn rifle lights around to face this oncoming British, where I will be able to fire at them down the column. And they seem to have an idea from scouts that something might be problematic with this road at some point in the future.
Let's hope so, eh?
So they're just starting to use their psychic powers to screen that road in case. Dearborn rifles. 3 dice, but they've got first fire.
Ouch.
So that will be 4 dice, and it'll be 4 dice normally hitting on 4s, but because you're enfiladed, I get to re-roll any misses. Is how I believe it works. So basically, it's 4 dice hitting on 4s. Take this green cubes represent first fire. That'll come off. 4 dice hitting on 4s, re-rolling any misses. Which is just as well, because I've got 1 hit, 3 misses. Now, let's see if I can...
Miss again.
So just 2 potential hits out of all that.
Yes.
And you're saving on 4.
And I save 1.
We'll save 1, so you've got 1 hit.
Yep.
Not a disorder. That would have been quite tasty.
Yep.
So they got away quite lightly there, I think. Where would you like your hits?
Yeah,
by
just,
the flags?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, and then we've got the artillery here, which is just 1 light gun. And its maximum range is 18. So it's going to be over half, I believe. It's over half, therefore it is just 1 dice, and it will be hitting on 4s, 5, because it's over half range. Oh. So that was an exciting fire round for the Americans.
Okay, so British move. Hamilton got a very good move. I've unlimbered my cannon. Unfortunately, I have moved all my troops up in the way, but I'm getting ready for these guys to swing round. But essentially, I've managed to get 3 lines of infantry to face off against Coulter's holdings. So there we go. My regiment on this side have just formed line, and my skirmishers have left Miller's Mill, and they've just started to skirmish around the side just to increase the amount of shots into those rifles there. So that's that brigade, which has worked out quite nicely for me. And then my 2nd brigade, led by Fraser, has come on in column, and I managed to get the march order all the way up here to the edge of the crops, and Grey Wolf has joined them, and he's going to help lead the attack, the frontal assault on the Continental lines there. So there you go, that's the British move. Now I've got some shooting. Okay, so the British regulars there, they've got the green cube, first fire. So I've got 4 dice needing 4s. So I've got 2 with
Disorder.
disorder, that's it. And I get to re-roll these 2 to the misses?
No,
that's just you.
enfiladed.
Oh yes, of course it is, yeah.
It's not just me.
Yes.
Anybody who's enfiladed can do that. Right, so I've got to save these on 4s. Save 1. So I take 1 casualty, but I am vitally disordered.
Okay, so my militia here, I've got 2 shots into those rifles there. Is that needing 4s as well?
It is.
And I get 1.
1 possible hit. Ouchie. I will save this, I'm confident. Yeah.
There you go, so your rifles are standing up to the British at the moment.
Okay.
Right, I've got some more shooting because my lines of British infantry here, I should be able to shoot you there.
Yeah, this front unit can have a nice first fire.
So that's 4 dice.
4 dice because of the first fire. I'm obscured, so you'll be hitting on 5s.
I'll do. And nothing. There we go, that's all the British firing done. Now back to the Continentals. Okay.
Right, okay, so Paul's brigade here on the left of the battlefield. These guys are just staying where they are, ready to take on the incoming British. This Continental regiment I ordered to swing round to obviously get into a better position. The militia are sort of backing up the Continentals in case there's a gap in the line. Then we had an arrival, which was timed with your arrival, of Leonard's brigade. And that's 4 fresh regiments of Continentals have come on. What a lovely move. So they're straddling the stream here, the North Creek, coming on to try and balance things out. And here, nobody moved because the Dearborn light infantry are disordered and Morgan's rifles are waiting.
Yes. So now it's Continental shooting.
Continental shooting. That sounds like an exotic film, doesn't it? Continental shooting.
I don't know if I've got enough space in my phone for that. Okay, so first up is the cannon.
It's not at 3 inches, so it gets 2 dice. hitting on 4s now. The hated British. Get a hit.
You get one.
Potentially. Can they save on a 4? 5, because it's artillery.
Oh.
No. Continentals here. First fire. Take the cube off. So it will be 4 dice.
Ouch.
If we go back to a previous set of rules, rested weapons on the fence. No, different rules. So they're firing 4 dice, needing 4s.
We're not quite within 3, are we? So
No, I don't think any of them are within 3, to be fair. No, look. Just a cat's whisker. You can shuffle forward. I think we treat it as cocked. Oh, look at that.
That's a joke.
1, 2. Well, I thought it was going to fall on the 5.
I know you
So I didn't. So just the one potential hit. That's not
and
good.
I'm saving that on a 4. No.
So they go
they're up to 2.
But it could have been a lot better for me.
Yeah, so those are on 2 at the moment, and then you've still got your rifles over here, haven't you?
I have disordered rifles. It'll just be 3 shots firing at the here. So it will be 3 shots needing 4s, but that will become 5s because they are disordered. Do we agree?
Yes.
Final answer.
Go on, you get one.
Get 1.
Let's see if I
Potential.
can save it.
Oh,
And I do.
Shrug that off. And I think that concludes all my firing.
Back
End of my
to-
turn, disorder comes off.
Yes,
We got told off about that.
yes. Well, at least you've remembered this time, so that's good. Okay, back to the British move, and Fraser has gone a little bit forward. So first up with the Highlanders, he managed to get a good move. They formed line. It's a large unit, so they're going to face off against the Continentals. Behind him are a unit of Grenadiers that also managed to do the same. The light bobs, the light infantry here, have just come round the side to try and form up a flanking line. And the militia have marched up to the side of the trees because they're going to go into skirmish mode and go into the trees and try and get round on the flank if possible. And then just last up, because the brigade order failed and they're in column, I managed to move the artillery up 1. So that was Fraser's move. And then on to Hamilton. And I felt, so all I managed to do was get a passage of lines to relieve the front line with the British regulars there. Everything else has remained as it were because I then failed my brigade order. So there we are, the British regulars here are in a little bit of a vulnerable position. I didn't want them to stay there, I wanted them to pull back, but that's where we are. So, British firing. Okay, so British first fire here with the regulars. So that's the first fire comes off, and I should be within 3.
Yeah, they're close range, so we'll be hitting on 4s down to 3s because of the proximity, but back up to 4 because of the fence line giving some cover.
Okay, let's see what I get. 2 potentials and a disordered.
Disorder's not good.
It just helps a little bit for me, doesn't it?
Let's see if I can shrug off these 2 hits. Oh,
1.
shrugged off.
There's 1 and a disordered.
But
Okay, so next up is going to be the artillery, and I'm going to fire at the guys in column there, just the nearest ones, I think.
yeah,
Probably be those.
yeah, and you can't fire full length through them, so it's not enfilade, but it's pretty bad. So it's a full battery, so your 2 dice.
Yep.
Let's just check all the modifications. Your 2 dice because of your range. Artillery shooting at column or square. Shooters shaken. Target is skirmishers. No. Column. No, it's a march. Is it march column? It is, isn't it? So you get +1. So it's 2 dice hitting on 3s.
Okay, come on, the Brits.
Oh!
Yes. So 2 and a disordered.
That's not good. So saving is hard. I think it becomes 5 because you're at half range. Hit by artillery fire at close or medium range. -2. So it will be 6s. No! So
Ouch.
that hurt. So they're disordered and 2 hits straight away.
Okay, so that's the cannon. Those guys are disordered and on 2 wounds. Next up, the British regular here. They're just going to return fire into your rifles.
So it'll be 3 dice, 4s.
Okay. Come on, the Brits. Nothing.
Whiffed.
And then I'm just going to do the same with my militia, the Canadian militia here.
2 dice on 4s.
Yeah.
1 potential. Come on, we shrugged it off last time. They're just rubbish militia.
No.
Obviously not that bad.
So there you go. That is the end of the British turn. So it's back to the Continentals. And I think there's going to be a bit of a slugging match going on in a second. With your brigade there. Let's see what happens.
Right, okay. So we'll start with Poor's brigade over here. He managed to get the Continental Regiment right on the left here. Could only move forward 1. And then tried to move the militia up into Coulter's holding as a backup to these 2 guys for support in a possible melee. They wouldn't have it. The militia did not want to go in there. It's sounding a bit unpleasant and looks a bit rough. So that was the end of their turn. We're over to Leonard's brigade. He did quite well. He ordered a regiment to move along the streamline and form line. He ordered another regiment to move forward and form line, which kind of sheltered this battered looking outfit here a little bit. It means they will be taking it, but at least they won't be in column. And then twice he failed to get these he failed to get this regiment going, because even though General Wardog was there, the re-roll again was a fluff. The order didn't get through. Here, Bear, hero that he is, joined the Dearborn Lights and managed to give them a bit of a stirring speech and get them going, and they managed to rally off one of their wounds. And Morgan's rifles are still here, waiting for whatever might come.
Yeah, so that's the end of the Continental movement. So now you're going to do your shooting, aren't you?
I am.
Yes. I'm not looking forward to this.
Well, we're going to start with our artillery, who's at close range. So he will be firing 3 dice.
Ouch.
Needing 3s. At this.
The Brits.
At the 33rd Regiment. I can't remember who the 33rd Regiment are, but they're all somebody's sons.
I think they're about to be wasted.
Oh, come on. 3s. 2 5s. So 2 potential hits. But you will have to save on the 6.
Yes, I know. If there's ever a time I needed a double 6.
Do you want to use this tray?
Oh yeah, go on. No.
No.
So that's 2.
2 hits straight off.
Ouch.
Oh, it is hard work, isn't it? Rifles are going to be firing at you again at close range.
Yeah.
They are disordered, so it would be 3 because it's close range, but they lose. They goes up 1 again because of disordered. So it's 3 needing 4s. And you are 1 away from your shaken level.
Yes, I'm not looking forward to this. Roll low, roll low, roll low.
What can I sacrifice?
Yahtzee, 111. Oh, look at that. Oh. And they're disordered. So that's 1 potential.
1 potential.
Right.
Save on a 4.
No.
Oh, your saving is letting you down today.
It is. The Brits don't like it.
They are shaken. We'll fire at these. I think there's within 9. Yeah, they're within 9. So it will be 3 dice, needing 4s.
Yep.
Here we go. And it's nothing. It's a these guys have both done that now.
Yes, I needed that.
Have they got some sort of...
Just not...
We won't treat at each other pact.
Yeah, a little treaty.
That could have been really useful to do a bit more. So that ends the American shooting.
Yeah, back to the British then. Okay, the end of the British move, and Fraser has moved up. His Highlanders have really got up there. 1 move forward, so I still get to shoot. But I'm in the face now of the Continental. They are quite conveniently backed up by some Grenadiers. The light infantry, because I failed my order then to move the militia into skirmish order and in, but because they were in line order, they've moved up 1, as has the light infantry and the cannon. In the centre here, I just moved the light infantry because I'm worried that these guys here would enfilade and wipe them out. So they've just formed a line back here next to the artillery. And then my next move was to try to push the artillery forward 3 inches just to get me into a nicer angle for those troops. And of course I failed. Okay, so first up, British shooting, the skirmishers, well, not the militia here, are just going to shoot at your rifles again.
Yep, 2 dice.
2 dice. Oh, the British are pulled back and they're a bit worried.
Their powders.
Yeah, they're panicking, they're not focusing properly. Right, artillery, let's go for... so if I go for the same unit again, they've now got...
Well, you can't go for this unit. You can go for this unit.
Well, I'm going to have to go for them then, aren't I?
Which is a fresh unit.
Yeah.
So it will be 2 dice.
Yeah.
Requiring, now they're not in column, requiring 4s. Unless it's because it's, hang on, I keep having to check, it's only about 5 things. It's not over half range, so it's 4s.
2 dice, needing 4s, come on.
Oh, that teetered on a 6
did.
there for a while. So 1
I could have
potential.
done with a 6 as well.
So this is when I need a 6.
Oh, and again, I saw that for a second.
Look, just, there we go. Could have distracted you. So they've got 1 hit. So these hits do start to, when it's 3, they start to mount up, don't they?
Okay, next up, the British here. They are within the 45-degree angle, but because of the ones on the end, we're just going to do 2 dice. So needing 4s again?
Yep.
Get 1.
1 potential. Shrug it off. Come on, boys. Shrug it off.
No, come on, I've got to get you this time.
They're stubborn, these Dearborn.
They are.
Dearborn lights.
Okay, moving back along the line here. So I've got the British at the front. They're just going to open fire again. They couldn't advance because they were disordered.
So they would be hitting on 4s. They've got cover becomes 5s. It's close range, so it becomes 4s.
I'm disordered. 5s.
5s.
Got there in the end.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, I didn't. We'll be in trouble again. So we put the disordered on because
Yes,
you've just
well
got
done.
a disorder, and you've got 1 hit potentially. Come on, boys. Yes.
And you save it, but you are disordered.
The disorder stays on.
Okay, so next up are the Scots at the front. They're a large unit, so you said 4 dice.
4 dice, and it's first fire, so it's 5 dice.
Yeah.
And it would be hitting on 4s, but because they're behind cover, it's hitting on 5s.
Boo. 1 potential.
Important. Shake it off, boys.
Yes, and you do.
Oh, I'm doing well.
You're not worried about the
Since
Scots
I
at all.
bought these dice that only have 5 first fire, doesn't it? When you
It does, but there we go. So the British have fired. That's not really been very effective, but I'm about to get into my lines properly. So let's see how the Continentals respond.
Hawes Brigade. Here we have sent a Continental regiment into skirmish order and up into the woods to contest the woods, or possibly put some fire into the flank of the Jocks or the Grenadiers. And the militia unit has come up into support range in case any melees take place, or if they need to take somebody's place in the line. Then we're over to Leonard's Brigade. Very neatly formed a line here so he can fire on this British brigade here, his regiments here, and his rather limpy regiment that took some cannon fire in the face has managed to move in behind. We cross the stream with this regiment, and this regiment moved beautifully right up along the stream side, so everything went well. Leonard is in for promotion at the moment, and General War Dog saw it all, so there could be a medal in it so far. Good. Here, there, Morgan's rifles are staying in this position because they think they can hear something in the distance, and this regiment has held its position because it can fire from there nicely. And now we're over to the shooting. He's like 3 inches in woods, so not quite ready to see. Because it's dense woods. I won't say they can fire at them either, because they move to anyway. So we'll start here. Start firing in Paul's Brigade with this Continental Regiment with first fire, firing at the Jocks, who are so far unwounded, aren't they?
They are. I don't think that's going to last long though.
So, regular sized unit, 3 dice, First fire makes it 4 dice, not within 3. So hitting on 4, 5 or 6. Need a 6, need a 6.
No, you don't.
I don't, but I'll take 3 potential hits.
Right, let's see if I can save them. Come on, the Scots.
Save
I'll
one. Regiment there.
Yeah.
So it will be 3 dice. Would be on 4s. Would be on 3s, but I'm disordered, so it's back to 4s.
Yes.
3 needing 4.
Come on, ones and twos. I need a break.
3 6s. Oh, 3 hits.
Pretty close to 3
6.
6s, that'll do.
That could be bad. Saving on 4s.
Oh, I saved 1.
Right, okay. I'll sort that out in a minute. And disordered as well, I believe. They've taken a pasting, the 33rd.
Yes.
I have to look up who they are. Now, in light of that, my artillery is going to fire at the Highlanders.
I thought they might.
Not at super short range though, but it's at 2 dice, needing 4, 5 or 6. But I need to hit them. A 6 would be really good. No! No hits at all.
If there's ever a time I need it. Come on, Scots.
Yeah, they could be all the difference. These guys. They're going to have to fire, aren't they? I mean, they've got a golden opportunity. Don't think I can split fire. And you really have to go for the nearest one, which is going to be your shaken +2, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would rather shoot at them, but I can't see, can you? Really, that's the nearest by quite a margin when you...
Yeah.
So, I shall fire at them. First fire.
Here we go. Do I get any cover from the...
I think we all obscured, because I can't get a direct line of fire to a lot of you. In fact, it's all sort of hitting your... As long as half the unit can hit you, it'll be obscured. I think that's only fair.
Yep.
Because there's...
They're going to die anyway, aren't they?
Well, we don't know. So it's 4, requiring 4s. Becomes 5s because of obscured. Complete miss, even if it had been 4s. Oh!
Wow. I think they're going to...
They're still shaking
run
up.
away anyway, because there's 2 over. You still
Here.
shooting?
Yeah.
I'm hoping those ones are out of range for the first fire.
I would say they're out of range. And these guys are in range.
Yes.
So these guys will fire 3 dice, hitting on 4s. 1 potential. Oh, it's a...
Yes.
Takes a much 2. Right. No other shooting.
No. We just need to now work out what's happening with my British regulars.
So
at the
you
front.
have got to do a break test. So
2 over, shaken.
So per excess casualties, -2. Disordered or shaken, -1. So you're -3.
Okay.
And you want to roll as high as you can. So you 2 dice, -3. This could be your moment of glory.
7, so that would be a 4.
4. The unit breaks and is deemed destroyed. Remove the entire unit from the field.
So there we go. The regulars at the front have been destroyed. They are gone. That's some good shooting for the Continentals. Hopefully it doesn't make my force get too disorganised. I've still got 3 units of regulars. The militia doesn't count towards my breaking for the brigade. But there we go. Let's see what happens after the British move. Okay, so the British move, and Hamilton on this side has just done a passage of lines to get fresh troops up to take on the Continentals behind the barricade there. I tried to move some stuff around. I managed to get the cannon up one move, and then what I wanted to do was move the skirmishers just along here to try and get side shot, potentially an enfilade next turn on those rifles, but I failed, and so that prevented Hamilton from attaching to that unit to help rally. But over on Fraser's side, Fraser here has unlimited cannon, so I can get a shot. I've pushed up passage of lines with the Grenadiers. Then the Scots have just wheeled round, ready to go into skirmish mode next time and go into the woods. My militia have gone into skirmish mode and into the woods, and the light infantry are just formed up line next to the cannon so that we can advance up. And that is the British move. Now I've got some shooting. But before that, as part of the scenario that I didn't know, we have got
Von
Riesel, which is their Hessians, is that right?
Hessians, and he's a Brunswicker. So some of them are Brunswickers.
There we go. So there are 3 regiments in the brigade, plus a regiment of Jaegers who are in skirmish mode, plus an artillery battery. So they are coming up, and your guys in there must have known about it. But it's something for you to think about now, because there's a whole battalion coming in on your flank. So that is the end of the British move. Let's get some shooting. Okay, British shooting. Let's start from this side. So the militia...
Didn't they do 2? Went into skirmish.
Oh, yes,
and
they
moved.
did, so they can't shoot.
Here, they can shoot.
Yeah, I don't think my Scots can shoot.
No, we said that with the angle and the woods.
Yeah, so my Grenadiers, they've got first fire, so
Yep.
4 shots.
4 shots, hitting on 3s because it's close range, but back to 4s. So it's 4 shots, 4s.
2 potential.
I really would like to save these. It's getting a bit sweaty because those guys like using the bayonet.
And there we go. Ah, so you
Save
saved 1. I'm not doing much damage this turn, am I? This game.
No,
yeah.
sometimes your firing is deadly. It's because you're using the cup. It's good. Stops your magic.
Shall I stop using the cup and see what happens?
No.
Right, let's get my
you
cannon
want.
here. He's going to fire at whatever I can see. Probably going to be your cannon,
Well,
isn't
it could be my cannon. It could be this regiment. I think that's the most likely.
Let's go for your cannon.
Okay, so it's over half range because it's a light battery.
Yeah.
Let's just measure that. Oh, it's under half range. So it will be 2 dice hitting an obscured target because it's artillery. It would be 4s. So it's 5s. 2 hitting on 5s.
Okay, let's see if I can get 2 5s without the cup.
Oh,
Get 1.
get 1. And I save on... It's going to be hard, isn't it? Not. So they're 50% gone. Well, 50% shaken because they're...
So now, can my light bulbs here shoot? Because I've left an open space, or is that not?
I think if they're in range. I think it's like an obscured... It's going to be obscured whatever you do, isn't it?
I'm going to fire at your cannon.
So it will be... So it will be 4 dice because it's their first fire.
Yeah.
And you can't not use that. So 4 dice needing 4s obscured. Oh, I think it's simple. I think it's just four dice needing 5s.
Come on then, let's get 5s. 1.
But disordered. So we need to save this, and it's just a straight 4.
You do.
But disordered. You don't like it up them.
But I'm not doing enough damage.
Oh.
Okay, now we got the new fresh unit with first fire.
So it's 4 dice.
Needed 4s, isn't it? Because
It would
it's
be-
close.
Well,
and
hang on.
cover.
It would be close. So that would make it 3 back to 4. Yeah. You said it. 4 4s.
2 potential.
Ooh.
I didn't get the disordered that I was hoping for. You
So
saved 1.
Save 1.
So they're up to
Hitting
2.
on 4s.
Okay, so the artillery hit. 2 dice hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
Come on. No, whiff it. They add up to 4. Can I get one?
I think you could almost do that, couldn't you?
Almost. Okay, so I think these guys are going to have to shoot those, aren't they?
Yeah. So 3 dice, hitting on 4s.
1. Have you given me the rubbish dice?
Oh, but it takes them to 2. Oh, it's on such things, you know. If you'd have got 2 hits, I'm suddenly one over, you know,
and then my skirmishers here just going to fire at your
2
rifles.
dice. 2 potential hits. That's good for them. Oh, taking me to shaken.
Yes.
Not over.
So there we go. That is the British done.
Have you got any? Right. Okay. Pause Brigade. He's ordered his Continentals in the woods in skirmish order to charge the Loyalist militia that are in the woods. It'll be an interesting fight because it's a bit of a disparity there. The Continentals being better quality. Everybody else has just held position. I did try and do a rally order, but I failed because of the proximity. I thought I'd got it, and then it was pointed out to me that it was 1 extra because of the closeness of the British, which is absolutely right. So that was Pause Brigade. Then Leonard's Brigade, he shoved this regiment forward. Fresh Continental Regiment, move forward, will still be able to fire, and they've still got their first fire. Nothing else was successful here. Tried to, General War Dog intervened and didn't manage to achieve anything better. Then here we tried to get the rifles into a proper line, but it was just that little bit too hard for him to do, and he failed.
It was the distance that just made the difference.
Couldn't get the order through.
There you go. And with those sugarcane or whatever over there, it's just got in the way of the audio.
The maze.
Yeah, the maze.
Right, so on to shooting. Okay, so shooting. This regiment are going to fire into your grenadiers.
Yeah.
They've had their first fire, and I think they're pretty much... you're within 3, so it'll be 3 dice. It would be 4s. They need 3s. 3 dice needing 3s at the grenadiers. Get them 5s going. So it's 2 potential hits. No disorder.
1. Oh, 3s you need, didn't you? I save 1.
So it's just 1 hit.
That'll do. They can take that.
They can take that. They, in fact, shrug that off probably.
They laugh in British.
They do indeed. So now we get to the cannon, which is now disordered. I think he's going to have to fire into this regiment if he can. Are we saying that's within? I think it's in arc. They are the closest. This is what you have to do, you see. No way can I fire at the grenadiers. You did that well. I mean, they are the closest, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess if it's closest, because the most logical would be straight ahead, wouldn't it? But
the biggest threat. So I'm happy that they can shoot at them.
Okay.
Or them. But they're closest.
Yeah, go on.
That's how they're worded.
Well, this is the flavour of today, isn't it? The one that goes forward gets mullered
Ah,
and runs off.
so they are within 3.
Yeah, but they're disordered.
So
That might be a saving grace.
3 dice would be 3s, but because of the disorder, it's 4s. 3. This is a big throw. So 2 potential hits.
I need 6s to save. No. So this is the way it's working, isn't it? Because actually now you've got 2 infantry lots shooting at me as well.
Yes, that brigade could be in trouble.
Yes.
Boom. These infantry firing at you. 3 dice, needing 3s. Because there's no disorder or anything. So, 1 dice, because it was cocked. Ah, got 1 hit.
Come on, I can save 1.
You
And
can.
I do.
That was probably just
Just what I needed.
It was probably fair, based on my juggling of dice earlier. No other firing here. These guys are going to fire into these. So it's 3 dice, needing 4s.
Oh,
Two
disordered.
potentials, but disordered.
Come on, I can save those. I saved one.
So you go to shaken and disordered. There's a pattern here.
Yes. But at least they're not going to take any more. They're just going to...
That's why maybe charging in would have.
Yeah.
Shaken and disordered. The guys behind them are quite happy hiding. Then we get this regiment who moved once. Going to fire at your guys here. So it's first fire. 4 dice even. Is this okay in this position? 4 dice needing 4s.
Okay. Whoa.
So disorder and 2 potential hits.
Come on, I've got to save these. Nope.
Oh, wow. Difference, but it can be really frustrating.
Yes, we're just saying really good shooting by the Continentals. The British have struggled a bit to get up to the barricades.
British.
Yes, indeed.
They haven't got any target. They haven't got any targets. That's pretty sure that's the British shooting. So now we have a melee. Right, so this melee. My Continental unit has 6 hand-to-hand dice, and the Loyalist Militia have 4 hand-to-hand dice. The ratings would be 6 needing 4s, but with skirmishers, so it becomes 6 needing 5s, but I charged, so it goes back to 4s. So I need 6, I've got 6 dice needing 4s, and the Loyalists have got 4 dice needing 5s.
So it's stacked against me, which we knew it would be.
So I'll do my 6 dice needing 4s. And there's 3.
Yeah, now I'll do my
Potential
4s needing 5s. 2.
2? Now that's very interesting. So now we have to do our saves. So what's your morale save?
They are 5+.
So you've got to save 3 at 5+. Oh no! Do you want to re-roll it?
Yes.
Okay. So
I saved 1.
save 1. So you've got 2 hits. Now I've got a morale save of 4 because they're better quality. So I've got 2 hits saving on 4s. Save 1. So there would be actual casualties.
Yeah.
But you have a support, which gives you an extra 1. So we do the casualties, because that's what we ended up with. You lost 2, I lost 1. However, because of your support, that gives you an extra 1 notional. You don't actually get a physical effect by taking another casualty, but that would be 2 all, so we're tied. So we stay
In combat.
fighting it out in the woods.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense? Hopefully we've got that right.
Makes sense to me. So whether I can get my Scots in now.
I should have done that, should have won that. You've now got
Shaken.
break test.
Yes.
So you are, well, you can roll your 2 dice if you want, but you're shaken, you're 1 over, and you're disordered, so it's -2 on your dice.
I've now lost 2
Have you lost 2 regiments from that?
brigade, yes.
And they're shaken,
Yes.
they're broken.
Okay, so the whole lot go, do they?
Well, we'll look at what it does, but because you've got 2 lost and 1 shaken, that takes you over half.
Okay, British move. So the Brunswicks are moving forward. They've only managed to get 1 move forward, but they've come up in column. They're going to start snapping into line and forcing the flank on this side. And as you saw here, my brigade has broken. So the redcoats have just turned and withdrawn. But it does put them in a very vulnerable position. But over on this side, Fraser has just got his Scots into skirmish mode, but they didn't quite make it in. So they're there to support. But the Grenadiers charged in. They took a bit of a pounding.
1 casualty.
With
Closing fire.
closing fire, that's the word. But then I've managed to get the light infantry to support them as well. So I'm kind of giving everything to try and take this flank and try and even up the odds as best I can. Because if I can destroy these 2, then I've got a chance of breaking your brigade. But it's a very lowly chance. Okay, so that's the British move. Now let's do some shooting. Okay, so my cannon is just going to shoot at the most logical in arc, but I've got closest to, which are the infantry there. So 2 dice because it's within 9.
Yep, 2 dice needing, it would be 4s, they're obscured, needing 5s.
Okay, and I get a 6.
Which is key, because it gives you a disorder. Let's see if I can save that. I need that.
You did need a 6, you got it. But you're disordered. You've been on fire with your dice rolling
I've survived that. That was quite an important one to survive. And that's all your shooting.
It is. So now we've just got the melee, haven't we?
Yeah. So let's just think about it before let's just check. I think it might be that I am winning because I inflicted more casualties. Yeah.
So do you want to roll yours first? 6 dice needing 4s?
6 dice needing 4s because nobody charged.
Oh, look at that.
Well,
3. And then I've got 4 needing 4s. Oh,
3 as well.
similar roll.
So we've got to, I've got to save 3. I save on 4s. This is the difference. So 3 saving 4s. So I only save 1. So you've inflicted 2 dead.
And I saved 1.
You've saved 1. Oh look. So it's 2 each. However, so 2 would take you over your... So that would be shaken plus 1 now, yes?
Yep.
And my 2 will take me to shaken. So we're going to both have to test.
Yep.
But because of your support, notionally, it's a draw. But because we've both been shaken, we both have to take a test. Make sense?
Yep.
Because it's quite clear. So, do you want to do your test first?
And I'm rolling high this time.
You want to roll high, and it's minus. You are 1 excess casualty, and you're not disordered, are you? No. So it's just -1.
Oh, so 3.
Shooting in the hand-to-hand, the infantry unit breaks and is deemed destroyed. Remove the entire unit from the field. Because when it's hand-to-hand,
Yeah. So they've gone.
it's totally destructive. Not an excess casualty. So I'm just doing a straight break test roll. High. So 9 is fine. I stand my ground. Now, I will check. I'm pretty sure because it's been hand-to-hand, your supports have to take a test too. They do. So you've got to test.
Not all for my Scots, is it? That'll teach me to support militia.
So the Scots also break.
There you go. So the Scots have gone as well. So my British army is fleeing the field. However, we do have a battle here. So we've got the Grenadiers.
Yes.
Charged up against you, so that's another battle. The Grenadiers are going to go first. I've got 7 dice. I need 5s because I'm disordered from the closing fire.
And I'm in cover.
And you're in cover. So let's see how many 5s or 6s I get. 4.
Ooh, 4's pretty good.
Oh, I needed that.
That's pretty good out of those odds. Right, and I've got 6 dice needing 4 because I'm not disordered. I like to use a cup. 2. So you inflicted 4.
Yep.
And I have inflicted 2. So now we get to the saves. You have got to save 2, 3 plus. So you save 1. So you have taken an extra hit, which takes you up to 2. I have got to save 4 using 4s. So it makes a difference. 4 saving 4s. Come on.
Oh, you saved 2 of them.
I save 2, but I take 2 hits, which takes them to shaken because they already had 1 on them. So you have won the combat. Oh, with supports, we've both got support. So it's 2-1.
3-2, is it?
3-1. I get disordered, can't offer support. So it's 3-2 to you. And the cannon can't offer support. So 3-2 to you, so you win. I am shaken. I have to take a break test.
Which
So,
you're easily going to pass because your dice roll has been awesome.
oh, that's cursing.
I
me.
know.
I've been cursed. So, break test. Excess casualty, no. Disordered, no. Suffered casualties from artillery, no. Okay, so it's a straight roll for me. 6. Interesting. Hand to hand, shit. 6. Infantry. The unit retires 1 full move to its rear without changing formation and at all times avoiding contact with the enemy. Once it has moved, the unit becomes disordered. It is not if it's not already so. If unable to comply, the unit may make 2 moves to its rear. Blah blah blah. So it's going to take 6 inches back. Let's hit on them. That would have been a different story because it'd have been worse. It wouldn't have been good. So now your choices. So do you want to just cross over the fence line? Do you want to move in?
No.
You could cross. You want to stay behind the fence line. That makes perfect sense.
I think I'm going to have to because they're. Okay, so I've decided actually I've got these skirmishers to my rear. This brigade has also got bloody nodes. That brigade is broken and running off. And although the Brunswicks are turned up, it's too little too late. And I'm going to concede. So well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, very well fought. The British just couldn't quite make it up and over the fence. So there we go. We'll have a quick debrief. And yeah, well done you. Right, there we go. Good victory to George. He's given the British a good bloody nose and stopped them from achieving their objective or anywhere near achieving their objective. There's no way they can do it. Yeah, good scenario. I think the not knowing where my troops come on, possibly as we were just saying, might have stopped me coming this way, but actually taking a whole brigade through dense wood and the river probably would have really slowed me down, so I probably wouldn't have done that anyway. So
might have taken a few moves.
Yeah, so I just think going up against the fences, you rolled really well, and actually
I rolled better than I normally do.
Yeah,
and you rolled a lot worse than you normally do.
And it made a difference because you can see there, they got up to the fence, but
So
I
a
just
lot of it
wasn't
comes
doing
down to
the
the
damage.
fortunes of war.
Yes, absolutely. But also, you managed to get this brigade in a good position that started to offer that flanking
I
fire,
got
and
3 moves.
yeah,
So,
it was really good.
well, it was lucky for me that I got that. I'd managed to get them moving so often. My command rolls are what let me down.
But even though that, you still managed to get these into a good position, didn't you? Because actually, those extra shots.
I think the Scots breaking here, because the militia ran away, is very, very unfortunate.
Yes, and I think that was what ended up with my decision.
I suspect what it was. Widow Riley over here opened a few bottles of scotch, and they were downwind.
They could smell it,
and off they went. Not stereotyping anybody, of course. It could have been equally a haggis that she was cooking. Stereotyping again. So, yes, it was a fun game. It's very hard to balance a scenario, I find. Timings of things. If I was to run it again, I would perhaps bring the Hessians on a turn or 2 sooner. It's just in black powder, things can move.
Yeah, and
If
as
you
we've
come
seen
on-
previously, I've been able to get across
If
the
you
table
come on
quickly.
early and get 3 moves in, you it becomes impossible to counter. But I enjoyed it. It looked
I
very
did as
nice.
well. It was a really good game. It was just, as we said, with the dice rolling, I just couldn't get to where I needed to in time, and too many of my troops broke, and that's the
actually
result.
better than historical, but you had a little bit of less knowledge perhaps than the original.
Yes, indeed.
No paratroops.
No paratroopers. But thank you very much. I really enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it at home. Don't forget, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and let us know what you thought and what you'd like to see in the future. And give us a thumbs up. So see you all again soon. Bye.